morning children, welcome to Maths class. Today I am going to teach a new topic, direct proportion. For understanding this, you should be thorough with ratio and proportion what you have studied in 6th standard. Now let us have a quick recap of ratio and proportion. First let us see what is ratio. So comparison of two quantities of the same kind. By means of division is called ratio. So what is ratio? Comparison of two quantities. Comparison of two quantities of the same kind. Here what is the meaning of same kind? Let's see through example. So cost of one pen is rupees 50 and cost of one pencil is rupees 10. Now here cost of pen and cost of pencil are both given in rupees. Here also rupees, here also rupees, and we are going to compare the cost. So here both are of the same kind. We can also say same unit. Both are in same unit. What is the unit given here? Rupees, here also rupees. So this comparison of two quantities of the same unit or same kind is ratio. And what is the symbol of ratio? Symbol of ratio is two dots, one below the other, and we name it as is to. We call it as is to. Now how we are going to write in ratio? 50 is to 10. So ratio are only numbers. We won't write the unit. So rupees, that unit we will not write. And this can be reduced to simplest form. Simplest form means make into small numbers by dividing by 10. Why we are dividing by 10? Here also 0 we have. Here also we have 0. So we can divide by 10. So 5 times. 5 into 10 is 50. And 10 ones are 10. So 5 is to 1. So this is the simplest form of the ratio. And here we are comparing two quantities. These two quantities are called as terms. In ratio, quantities are called as terms. The name of the first term is antecedent. And name of the second term is consequent. So name of the first term is antecedent. Name of the second term is consequent. Then order of the terms is very important in the ratio. What is the meaning of order? 5 is to 1. We should not write it as 1 is to 5. Because this is the cost of the pen and this is the cost of the pencil. This we cannot change and write it as this is pencil and this is pen. So order of the terms is very important. So 5 is to 1 is not equal to 1 is to 5. Next we shall see what is proportion. Now we are going to see what is proportion. So if two ratios are equal, we call it as proportion. If two ratios are equal, it's called proportion. We can also say equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratios or proportion. We can see through examples now. Consider two ratios, 2:3, and another one ratio 6:9. Now we are going to see whether these two ratios are in proportion. And what is the symbol used for proportion? 4 dots. So this can be written as 2:3, 4 dots for proportion 6:9. And how we will read this? 2:3 as 6:9. Now here in the proportion we have 4 terms. There are separate names for the 4 terms. This is the 2 is the first term, 3 is the second term, 6 is the third term, and 9 is the fourth term. The first and fourth terms are called as extremes. First and fourth terms are called as extremes. Second and third terms are called as means. First and fourth are called as extremes. Second and third term are called as means. So how will you read this proportion 2:3 as 6:9? Now to find out these two ratios are equal or they are in proportion, there are 3 methods we shall see now. So what is that? What are the two ratios? 2:3 as 6:9. You all know ratio can be written as fraction. So we will represent this as fraction first. So 2/3 and 6:9 can be written as 6/9. Now this 6/9 we can write it in simplest form by dividing. So divide by 3 table. So 3 2s are 6 and 3 3s are 9. So this is nothing but 2/3. So 2/3 is equal to 2/3. So simplest form is equal. So simplest form are equal. That means two ratios are in proportion. So 2:3, 6:9. So two ratios are in proportion. Now next method is 2:3, 6:9. Now this can be, already told you, this can be written as fraction. So 2/3, 6/9. Now we have to find out the cross product. This is called as cross product rule. So 2 into 9, 2 into 9, and here 6 into 3. Now find out the answers. 2 9s are 18. 6 3s are 18. Both the answers are same. Both are equal. That means 2:3 and 6:9 are in proportion. So first method we found out the ratio in simplest form. Simplest form of two ratios are equal. So they are in proportion. Second method is we have to find out by cross product rule. If you find out the cross product, both the answers are same. So 2:3 and 6:9 are in proportion. Now third method is proportionality law. Third method is proportionality law. What is proportionality law? Product of extremes equal to product of means. Product of extremes is equal to product of means. Now, which are all extremes here? First and fourth term. First and fourth terms are extremes. And second and third terms are means. So, if you keep the first term as A, second term as B, third term as C, and fourth term as D, what are the extremes? A into D. And what are means? B into C. Now, we shall check whether the answers are same. A is 2 and fourth term is 9. And second term, that is B, is 3 and C is third term is 6. So, 2 9s are 18, 6 3s are 18. So, product of extremes is equal to product of means. Therefore, 2 is to 3 and 6 is to 9 are in proportion. So, this we can write it as 2 is to 3 as 6 is to 9. So, if you are thorough with the ratio and proportion, we can do the sums easily in direct proportion. We shall see it now. Now, we are going to see direct proportion. If one quantity increases, other quantity also increases. And if one quantity decreases, other quantity also decreases. This is direct proportion. So, if one quantity increases, other quantity also increases. If one quantity decreases, other quantity also decreases. And this proportion is called direct proportion. Now we shall see some examples. If you are buying you are buying balls now and their cost. If you are buying one ball, it costs 10 rupees. Cost is given in rupees. If you buy 2 balls, how much we have to pay? 2 into 10, 20. If we buy 3 balls, we have to pay 30 rupees. So, if the number of balls increases, number of balls is increased, and here also cost also increases. If you just reverse, if you see, if the number of balls decreases from 3 to 1, here also it will decrease from 30 to 10. So, this proportion is called direct proportion. Now, let's see the ratio of their increase. This quantity we can keep it as X, and this cost we can represent as Y. Now we are going to see their ratio. You all know ratio can be represented as fraction. Now we are going to see the ratio of their increase. So X by Y. In the first line, X is 1 and Y is 10. And in the second one, X is 2 and Y is 20. And in third line, X is 3 and Y is 30. Now here this 2 and 20 we can cancel by 2 table. So this becomes 1 2 is 2 and 10 2s are 20. And here this we can cancel by 3 table. 1 3 is 3, 10 3s are 30. So now all the numbers are same. We are getting x by y is equal to 1 by 10. So all the ratio is same. So we can write this as, we can say this as constant. So now x by y is constant for direct proportion. So x by y is constant for direct proportion. This constant we can write it as any letter of the alphabet. Now I am writing as k. Or we can also write it as x is equal to k into y. So where k is constant, this k can take any numerical value. Here it is 1 by 10. Suppose if the cost of the ball is 20 rupees means k will be 1 by 20. Now we shall see some more examples of direct proportion. So in a classroom, if there are more number of students, number of benches will be more. Number of benches is more. If there are less number of students means number of benches needed will be less. So number of benches needed will be less. Suppose if we buy more number of articles or more number of things, their cost will be more. Cost is more. If we buy less number of things, cost is less. Suppose if a boy is buying one pen for 50 rupees, he has to pay for one pen, he has to pay only 50 rupees. If he is buying 4 pens means he has to pay 200 rupees. So number of pens increases, amount also increases. If you have more petrol, we can travel more distance. If you have less petrol, we can travel only less distance. So here one quantity increases, other quantity also increases. If one quantity decreases, other quantity also decreases. And same way, if things are more, their weight will be more. If things are more, weight also will be more. And if things are less, weight will be less. If there are more members in a family, expenditure will be more. Expenditure is more. If there are less members, expenditure is less. And if you deposit more amount, interest will be more. See, if you deposit more amount, interest is more. If we deposit less amount, interest is less. So in all the direct proportion, what we have to remember is the ratio of their quantity will be constant. So based on this, we have to do the sums. We can continue in the next class. Thank you, children.